Hey everybody, it's Thursday. That means it's time for your Thursday Thought. The last 2 weeks have been interrupted because of the holidays and because of New Year's. But about a month ago, I started a segment kind of taking the contract to buy and sell real estate, kind of the cornerstone to the real estate transaction, and breaking it apart through its sections, and kind of explaining to you in essence what each section deals with. So far we've covered section 1, 2, and 3. Section 1 and 2 talks about the parties and the premise. Section 2 kind of talks about the inclusions and the exclusions, whether there are water rights or not water rights, or the hot tub is included or not included. And then number 3 is the date, the date matrix, and it basically goes through and lists out all of the dates and deadlines of when things need to be accomplished by, everything beginning with the earnest money and kind of ending with obviously the closing date and possession. So today we're going to talk about number 4. And that is also another big section, and it's basically section 4. It deals with the purchase price and the terms, and so obviously an important section. So it begins with this little pricing matrix. Basically, you're going to put in the purchase price, what the buyer is offering, the earnest money amount, how much is going to be financed. And there's an auto calculation that says what the buyer will need to bring to close, and it's just kind of a big rough number to kind of give everybody an idea of what that loan will look like. After that, it goes into seller concessions. Basically, what is the seller going to contribute to kind of help facilitate the closing, covering closing costs, maybe some prepaid things, some things along those lines. 4.3 talks about the earnest money, who's going to hold it, how it will be delivered, and then it also talks about the return of earnest money, and kind of also has a section at the bottom of that says if the buyer does or does not have the amount liquid cash on hand that's stated as a cash at closing in that pricing matrix. So basically, what this would look like is the buyer is making an offer saying, hey, I'm expecting this money to be here by the time we close, but I may not have it on hand right now. Or maybe it's in a retirement account that I have to pull it out of. Or maybe I'm waiting for my other house to close, which is probably the most common one. And so that will give the seller some indication on whether he's literally has that money in his bank account or whether he's waiting for that money to come in. So it'll give an indication of how strong that buyer is. So beyond that, section 4 continues to talk about the new loan and what type of loan that the buyer will be utilizing to purchase the property. It will talk about when the seller is offering some type of seller financing, there are some items in here like buyer's credit information, any type of assumptions, seller's financing, and things along those lines that are there in section 4. We don't see those utilized too often just because most of the time you can't assume a seller's loan anymore. Let's say maybe it's a VA loan that the seller has. Most of the time there isn't owner financing in these deals unless there is, and then you utilize the section and probably get the help of an attorney to help draft what that seller financing would look like. So anyway, that should give you an idea of what section 4 is. When I was checking here to see if I missed anything, that is basically the essence of section 4 of the contract to buy and sell, dealing all with the purchase price, the terms, and the loan options, and the different ways that someone could purchase a property on the finance side. So hope that was helpful. Tune in next week as we continue through the contract to buy and sell real estate. See you guys.